Fredrik Backman is on tour for his new book, My Friends, and I get to go see him. In preparation, I want to read some Fredrik Backman books. I've previously read A Man Called Uva and Anxious People and gave them both 4 stars, but I'm starting this book off with Beartown, which I've heard incredible things about. So this is the book that I'll be starting with, and we'll see where we go from here. I started reading Beartown last night just to get a vibe. That's exactly what I got. The first few sentences of the book are someone going into the woods and like blowing someone's head off. And we're introduced to this town called Beartown that is a small town out in the forest, not that many occupants, not much money, but a heart and dedication to hockey. So the junior league hockey team is like feeling promising for the first time in 20 years, and like the town is living for this moment and trying to make it, trying to win. I love when people have a passion, like a really strong passion, something they're obsessed with. And so for a whole town to just be like in love, obsessed with hockey is exciting. And then we're also meeting some characters who don't care about hockey. We're meeting a girl who's like obsessed with her guitar, me at 18. The way that this book is written feels good, feels powerful. It feels like this book is gonna be so much about just humans being humans, besides someone killing someone at the end. So I'm excited to keep reading, and I'll let you know how it goes as I continue. I am now over 200 pages into this book, and I finally get it. So this book started off just with an overview of Beartown, who they are, what they do, and really the culture of things. And then we're zooming in on the people within Beartown and all of their unique perspectives. I love the way that this book is written, where we are jumping between so many characters, and all of the characters are so distinct that you know exactly who you're reading. The coaches, the general manager, the family of them, the hockey players, the students, the kids. When we start off the book, we are anticipating the semifinal match for the junior league, and this is a very big deal. This town has nothing. They're losing more and more jobs, more businesses, more people every day, and this town is really like in poverty and doesn't have much. So hockey is everything to them, and the fact that they have a team that's succeeding could bring opportunities to Beartown. It's also just giving like a ray of hope and sunshine in this little town to just see like their own people succeeding. So while we're anticipating this, and I myself am getting excited for this team to win, for good things to happen to the town, there is also such just a heavy presence over the town. There's a lot of people who are down on their luck, down in life. So there's a heaviness from that, but then we also have this sense of foreboding that something bad is going to happen. And there are so many effects of that town-wide. We're just seeing how it affects everyone. So I'm to that part where that has happened. I'm seeing like the rippling out effects of what has happened, and waiting to see people like find out and see like what happens next. And it is so like dark and sad, but still very readable. Fredrik Backman does an amazing job at writing like the human experience. So many of the characters just feel so real and so relatable, or like I recognize someone in them, just the way that people's thought processes work. And it really makes me think about people who read fiction and how reading fiction like really changes your perspective on the world, really gives you a level of empathy, sympathy that I just don't know if you can have unless you are reading so many people's point of view, so many people's internal thoughts, so many things that you would just never ever ever hear someone say out loud. The way that you're really inside of someone's head and feeling what they're feeling, like that is a level of sympathy that is really hard to gain without reading fiction. It's incredible. But it's sad to read, hard to read, but also so readable. And I just want to see what happens next. And I just want to see people be okay. And also this is book 1 in a 3-book series. So I don't know how much resolution I'm going to get in this one. But I am halfway through now. So all that to say, I'm having a good time and I'm gonna keep reading now. I'm back home from game night. We played 1 round of Splendor, 2 Ticket to Ride. I lost every game. I'm roasting some potatoes for dinner, and I just got my Harney & Sons tea order. I restocked my everyday tea, Paris. That's my favorite tea, but I haven't tried their other teas in a while, and they were having a sale. So I also got peach fruit tea, Provence, which is white tea, lemon, apricot, lavender, vanilla, and honey. And True Blue Oolong, which is oolong tea with butterfly pea flower, lemon, apple, blueberry, and vanilla. A bunch of fruity teas. Paris is my favorite. I drink it every day, but I'm willing to try some other contenders. This is only caffeine-free one, so I'm gonna try this peach fruit tea and get back to reading my book while I wait for dinner to cook. I'm now past page 300. I definitely feel like I could finish this quickly, but it's 11 p.m. So I thought I would just check in and then go to sleep because I do have a job. The book was devastating. All the people are so frustrating, but yes, in a realistic way. I'm getting so upset with people. I'm just afraid of what's gonna happen, and I'm so sad for some of our characters. So many of our characters are like in bad situations. And then I'm also like angry and thinking back to page 1 where somebody dies. I'm like, fingers crossed it's this person or this person. I could deal with a couple of people dying and I would enjoy it. But there's just still so much beautiful language, so many thoughtful phrases. I'm torn between the pain and then also the readability and just feeling invested and wanting to know what happens next. So tomorrow I'll have about 115, 120 pages left, and it's probably gonna rip my heart out. But until then, I'm gonna get some rest, so I'll be prepared to finish this tomorrow. I finished Beartown. I'm giving it 5 stars. Incredible. I had so many conflicting emotions while I was reading this. There was a point where I was just like sick of this stupid town, ready to get out of this book. But then I started seeing hope again. A lot of the people in Beartown suck. They really do. I hate them. I was on the verge of tears multiple times, mainly out of anger. I thought I would be upset and sad, but I was seething many times throughout this book. And Fredrik Backman is just, he really knows the human experience. He knows what it's like to be a man. He knows what it's like to be a 15-year-old boy. And he knows what it's like to be a 15-year-old girl. He knows what it's like to be a mother. It was just so good. Sometimes the characters do feel a little bit caricature-ish, but I think that's more because we're getting a depth and just qualities in the writing that I'm not used to. Just some of their thoughts and things, I'm like, wow, this just seems like more than a human. But I think it's just that I'm seeing more of a human, if that makes sense. But Fredrik Backman knows how to write a woman's rage. Absolutely. Multiple times, multiple different characters. It was so satisfying. The sometimes strike of violence from the anger in these characters The crying, oh my gosh, so many characters cry for so many different reasons. Incredible. Just everyone is so emotional in a realistic way. There are so many things that are left unsaid in like this culture in Beartown of not being direct, and that's so frustrating but so realistic how a lot of things were handled or discussed. And there's just so many topics going on. It was so good. I now have hope for Beartown, and I want to see Beartown succeed. I loved that by the end we got a glimpse into the future. Well, more glimpses into the future. Just a little bit, so we know like a little progress. I do want to read the next one. I don't want to read it right this second. That was very heavy. It was a lot, and I loved it. But I'm seeing Fredrik Backman on Thursday. Today's Monday. But I'm going to set myself up for success and pick this one up next instead of like a 500-page book. So, moving on now to And Every Morning the Way Home Gets Longer and Longer. A little novella, maybe 100 pages. So, I'll let you know how this one goes. Did you know how sad this book is going to be? This is Fredrik Backman's internal musings that he didn't plan on publishing, just dealing with the fact that he's afraid of getting old, and just people in general are afraid of getting old and losing memories and the toll that takes on you and the people around you. And I read that intro and I paused because I wasn't ready to cry yet. So in the meantime, I did get a package. Now, this is the allowable package because it is a book that I've already read and loved and is a new favorite of all time. But the physical copy just came out, and I want this author to have the world, so I will support him. Holy crap. This is The Eye of the Bedlam Bride by Matt Dinniman, book 6 in the Dungeon Crawler Carl series, and possibly my favorite book in the series. 5 and 6 were the best. This is my favorite series. I've been reading them all this year. I recently read the 7th one, which I'll talk to you more about when I do like a spring reading wrap up. I didn't like it. So, we'll talk about that then. For now, basking in the glory that is this mammoth of a book. Over 800 pages. This is why I'm behind on my reading goal right now, because I was reading 700 and 800 page books. Enough said. Okay, that was super sweet. Just a little sad. It's an old man talking to his grandson about, they never use the word, but dementia, Alzheimer's. He's losing his memory, and he's sad that he's going to lose the memory of his wife who's passed away. And it's sad and sweet, and I shed a few tears. Very good.
So, without giving us any spoilers, tell us just a little bit about My Friend, so we'll know a little bit about the main characters and about the story before we get started. A little bit.
I didn't grow up connected to art. I still have this. I go into a museum, I still wait for someone to tap me on the shoulder and say, sir, you need to leave. I feel like, I have that feeling whenever I'm in a museum, but my wife loves art. and she studied art history for a while. And when we met, we're extremely different people. No one would have put money on us. We don't know why it works. No one knows.
As Mrs. Duke Callahan and became a wife. Details her sexual awakening. Are your eyes already darting ahead, praying to God you don't see words like petals or engorged? Never fear.
The author event was incredible. Fredrik Backman is such a unique personality. He's like dark, depressed, self-deprecating, but also funny, witty, and just entertaining to listen to. It was so much fun. I'm so glad that I went. My sister compares him to Eeyore, which is quite fitting, but he talked about his book, My Friends, which the event included a signed copy of the book. But of course he was talking a lot about this book and why he wrote it and what it means to him, and even his dedication in it, which is to anyone who is young and wants to create something, do it. And I just loved him. He's very inspiring. He is a very dark person, but you can see that he has a lot of light and love. The way he talks about his wife is incredible and romantic, and it's just like reading his books. There's a lot of darkness, but there's a lot of love and light and hope, and just so cool to see. So cool to see an author talk. I love listening to authors talk. I have more authors on the calendar that I get to see, which I just love doing. I can't wait to read this book. I'm not going to read it in this vlog because I do have other stuff to do, but I'm excited when I get to this, and just having that like little inside scoop from the author is fun. But I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. Let me know which Fredrik Backman book is your favorite, or if you now want to pick one up, because even if you're not normally reading like general fiction, I really think his books and his writing are something special and something that a lot of people could enjoy. So thank you for watching. I will see you next time.